Good morning, all you happy people. It is Monday, November 8th, 2025. Not November, it is December. Last days of the year, guys. 2025 could not get out of here fast enough for me. But let's do a little deep dive into some wordplay and such. What is a rule? A rule is a guideline set up for the safety and peacekeeping of let's go with a very broad word, a populace. And a populace could also be a classroom, all the way down to two people. But a rule is a guideline. What is a ruler? A ruler is typically a person who sets up rules for a populace, defends those rules, and defends the populace. Now let's take that into specific, the defending the populace. That is what originally fiefdom was set up as. And fiefdom is kings and queens and dukes and all that stuff like that. They were given for lack of a better word, dominion over a territory. And that territory, they were there to defend not only the land, but the populace inside of the land. Specifically, let's talk about the land. They're keeping unsavories out of the land. That would be all of the land in their domain. So, in Revelations, it talks about once we are judged post at the shores of the sea of fire and glass, post-judgment, if we are deemed worthy to go to heaven, we then ascend. We go to heaven, but heaven is only a brief respite. While the earth is reborn. And then we go down with Jesus at his left and right hand, and we rule that earth. Now, part of me was all like, well, what are we ruling over? We have all been deemed worthy, and when we ascend into our immaculate bodies, there is no more hierarchy in the populace that is man. Of course, there is, of course, God, the angel, God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, the angels and stuff like that. But as far as on earth, we will be ruling to left and right hand of Jesus on this earth. And what does that mean? What are we ruling over? Well, ruling has many different synonyms in the world, and one of which is dominion. We had dominion over that world. When we go back from Revelations, we go all the way back to Genesis. When man was created, he was given dominion or ruling over all of the world, of the garden. Remember, this was just one man, and of course one woman later on, to rule over that garden. What this is telling me is a much larger spectrum. When God reforms the earth into new earth, which is spoke about in Revelations, it is going to be just like the garden, but it's going to be the whole planet. So it's not going to have borders and stuff like that, like the original garden did. The original garden actually had borders and so forth and so forth. The only real borders that we're going to have on New Earth is going to be more like regional borders, like, oceans and lakes and stuff like that. And topography borders, such as that, Of course, we're not going to be able to, those kind of borders. But we will then be given to rule over as we were originally supposed to. But instead of having just one man to rule over a garden, we're now a multitude, and we will rule over the whole planet. That means we will be caretakers, as we were supposed to do originally. Our charge, once we were created by God, was to be caretakers of the garden and also to commune with God himself. God was not bored or anything else like that. God created enough, as so many angels, that if they all appeared, they could blot out the sun on the entire earth. It's an awful lot of angels. He was not lonely. He just wanted someone to talk to and to commune with and stuff like that. And that's what he created in man. And he, just like he gave the angels, he gave them free will, he gave us free will. And but his original charge for us was to take care and upkeep of the garden itself. So that is the rule that we're going to have. And here's the deal: is unlike in the garden where God would come around, at specific times of the day and stuff like that, and come bask in the garden and his works and stuff like that, Jesus will be with us at all times. Now, this is not necessarily, we're going to keep the bad stuff away. Jesus is going to be with us all the time, because this is post-apocalypse. Satan, Lucifer, whatever, Beelzebub, whatever name you want to give him, and his demons and his ilk will be cast into the lake of fire and destroyed eventually. that is as the Bible tells us. So when we go into New Earth, there is no demons or devils or things like that. Now, but we will be communing with Jesus at all times, and more than likely, the Father and the Holy Spirit will be about sometimes as well. So 3 in 1, they are one person. So, that is something that's been weighing on my mind is, what are we to rule over? We're not going to rule over people. We're going to rule over the land. We are going to be caretakers for the creation that God made for us. We will care for the animals. We will care for the trees, the flowers, the birds, the bees, all that. We will be caring for that. So that was our original charge, and that is what we will go back to. But those of you who think that we are going to sit in clouds and sing and stuff like that, no. God already has the heavenly host. God already has that which sings for him on a daily basis. But yes, we will be giving praise to God, and we will be having a much closer relationship with God, because Jesus, who is God, will be with us at all times while we are on New Earth. So, I hope this stirs a little something inside of you guys. It was a nice epiphany for me whenever I stumbled upon that, and it does make a lot of good sense. So, and being a country boy at heart like I am, I certainly will not mind taking care of the land that God has made. Let's roll.